So operators are here, TFOs. We also have the fire department and also Grady EMS is here and some volunteers that are here with us.
So, sir, you have this big, beautiful training center. Why take it out to the city when you could do it back in the training
Right.
center?
So as we train in different locations, it helps us to be ready and more in a more diverse atmosphere. We are ready for anything that we come across.
And I guess more finally, what is the advantage of doing it in the real world versus in a controlled environment?
In the real world, it's actually. So what was your question? In the real world versus a diverse?
The benefit of doing it in a real place like this versus back at the training center.
Oh, so actually there's no difference actually with the new training academy because we can mimic the real world at our training academy. But a location like this is very sensitive. As you can imagine, if a round were to strike one of the tanks, it could be devastating for the aquatic life here at the aquarium. And so we want to ensure that we're doing everything possible to save lives and property.
I know that you guys have done this at the airport, Lennox, some other churches recently. Are you guys coming back here? Is it maybe World Cup related, or is it just you haven't been here in a minute? And are you guys doing this type of training in other places in Atlanta?
Yes, we're doing this training all over Atlanta, like I stated. It helps us to be ready for anything we may face. The more experience we have, the better off we have when it comes to, like I said, protecting lives and property.
So we can expect airport in Lennox sometime soon?
Possibly.
Okay. And
We're going to move to Deputy Chief Hampton because you mentioned FIFA and those large events. So I'm going to bring him up to the podium to address those questions.
Good afternoon, Deputy Chief Charles Hampton Jr. of our Special Events Division. So yes, to answer your question, it's very important for us to do exercise like this out in the area that we will be patrolling when it comes to FIFA. We know during the World Cup, Fan Fest will be right here in Centennial Olympic Park. We'll have thousands of citizens here visiting our beautiful city. And so we want to practice in areas that's conducive of where people will be. So you mentioned about the training site. So yes, that gives us practical exercise. But here, this is real world, and that we really can mimic what we will face if the actual call comes up.
And can you take us inside? What is it going to look like? What is it going to sound like? What is it going to feel like for these officers?
It's going to be real. They'll use live ammunition, so the actual bang, firing of the guns, and that's important for the officers, again, to know if called and where they have to perform those life-saving events, they can do it right here, so they'll know what a gunshot is. They'll know what the fire department would do, how they will react to deal with any type of mass casualties events. So again, this is just a great exercise for us to ramp up our skills as we prepare for these large-scale events. So you talked about other events. So we did this similar at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We know that MARTA did one at one of their rail stations. So this is just something that all of the public safety individuals that we continue to do, work with our medical professions, work alongside. So again, we can provide the best possible service in the event that something happens. But again, that's part of my division, is to make sure that we're taking all the necessary steps so we do not have to have situations like this. But in the event that it happens, we will be prepared to deal with it.
Inside, is there a civilian? Is it, I know it's going to be people got hurt or something, but how many people are involved in it?
I'm not sure the actual numbers of the exercise, but traditionally in exercise we want to mimic, so we'll have people who are acting as staff, we have injured people running chaos, so we have a lot of volunteers to help us provide for this real life situation.
And how many officers, and are they just officers in your division, or are they across the department, across the city?
So this, as Chief Collier mentioned before, this is units from our Apex unit who train and work together daily, and then also members of our tactical field officers who are assigned to various units within the Atlanta Police Department.
you guys are here until 11 p.m. What is usually the process? You guys go through a scenario and then you talk about it, do it again, or you change the scenario?
Well, the first most important part is safety. And so a lot of time is spent to make sure that weapons are safe, rendered. They go through a security check before entering into the scenario. So that takes time. We don't want to overlook anything. So we're making sure the ammunitions are out of people's pocket. And so then you'll go through the scenario, work with the volunteers to say, hey, these are the type of things we want you to do. And then lastly, after the scenario, there is a opportunity for a debrief to really critique what went well, what went wrong, rules for improvement, and things like that.
What are some of the weaknesses you look for in exercises like this?
A lot of times it's communication, making sure that our radios can transmit. So again, these are why we like to come to facilities like this, because will there be some dead spots where we can't communicate? We like to find that out now. So if we need to do any type of infrastructure with our communications department, we can make those necessary changes right now. Sometimes it's even with equipment. It may be a piece of a firearm. It could be how you have tourniquets or things on your belt. If you can't access it immediately in a life-saving situation, then officers need to make adjustments so when they are faced with it, they can perform effectively.
You mentioned the World Cup and how you're training because of that as well. Are there any safety things that you're trying to implement into the aquarium that wasn't there before? I know they have metal detectors, but anything else like officers in there at all hours of the day or something like that?
Yeah, again, we can't tell a private entity what to do, and like I said, so we allow them to work alongside of us so they can see some of the things that we would encourage. But I'm not sure some of the advancement that the aquarium has implemented. That'll be something for them to answer. Yeah, obviously, yes, we do thank them for the partnership. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Okay.